Why, Kurt,
Why, good morning.
and we meet again with less coffee even.
Oh, that's really gross.
Wait, is it still May 5th?
It still is.
Wait. And is it okay if I tell the gentlemen that they may, and the ladies too, they may hit like and subscribe and the notification bell. And they're free to leave comments about how dirty your coffee cup is at any moment.
Certainly are. All right. So we're continuing our work on embodiment. We've just had done a 45-minute short. 40 for us is a short. A topic, well, a short for us is a single topic, right?
Yes.
All
We
right.
call it topic. That's better. It's not lying as much.
I don't know, there's something really funny about calling it a short. You know, when everybody else's shorts are like a minute, 5, 3. All right, so just for the audience, Brad came up with a brilliant idea, and it took me a while to fully grasp it because he says he said like 6 words. Okay, now the 6 words had a lot of information density behind it. It took me a while to sort of disassemble it and integrate it and whatever, but it was quite brilliant. So now my mind is somewhere else, and I got to bring it back. I got to bring it back to the topic of embodiment. So this is a working session, and we're going to continue our work in embodiment, which we feel is pretty much there. Right? In other words, the way we're talking about the matter is looking correct. All right. So I'm going to share my screen.
All right.
Boy, you really filled my head full of ideas there, Brad. That's a
It's a condensate. See, I gave you the condensed version. Then you had to evaporate it and then reassemble it in your own head. That's all.
I don't know how to make you bigger. That shows active speaker, thumbnail, grid. You know, if I do this, what happens? That's bigger. Oh, I can size it this way. I learned something.
So, you know, I
learned that I can accidentally click on a YouTube video too while I'm doing it. Oh, that's much better. Now I can see you. All right.
All right. Disambiguation with Chat GPT-4. GPT-4, yes.
Yes, I'll use it. There's some things that they say their release of the next version of ChatGPT is imminent. And apparently it's gonna create a bit of a stir, so we'll see. I think it's funny. Can I comment for a second? I think it's funny that I've been through quite a few technological revolutions in my lifetime at this point, right? I mean, when I started, that was a fucking teletype, right? You know, and I was before that, I was building early computers on breadboards with soldering iron and water and hoping to hell that because I'm not really good at soldering because I'm too impatient. And so hoping I don't melt the IC chip while I'm making connections. So I've been at this a long time. I've seen a lot of transformations. So when you got to the first transformations back in the day, computer systems were, you know, you required an institution to pay for them. What is that?
You don't want to show that list. Why are you showing me that?
It's a local friend of mine, and he's probably just wants to go to lunch.
Right? But you're sharing that list. I don't want you to share this. It has phone numbers on it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can block it out later.
Okay. There we go.
back to place. So I was saying that.
ChatGPT-4, and you were talking about breadboards.
So what's happened is you go through these changes, but the original changes were first in that hardware was expensive. Second, the different languages were different enough. They took a long time to learn.
Yep.
Third, we didn't have enough storage.
Mm,
And I remember paying a lot of money for a 10 megabyte
yeah.
disk drive for a database server.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and you thought about how little could you fit, you know, how small could you make the data, right? So that it would hold the most, right? And so, and then so there was a lot of time where we went through there's this continuous revision of here's more hardware, therefore we can do more with software, therefore there's more hardware, therefore we can do more software. And we got to the point where, you know, and then there was like how many databases could you use? You could use one or two or three, right? I mean, it started with one and then two or three. Now today there's a million of them. And they were all pretty much relational databases, or there were hierarchical databases like banks use in the big companies, because that's how you do banking transactions. And there are relational databases, which is what we think of the world, most of the databases in the world today. But all of a sudden today, there's like 20 kinds of databases. You can store everything from caches to you know, key value pairs, to text, to images, to videos. There's databases for freaking everything, right? And it all scales. You can even put like zillions of servers together to make them all work. So there's this hardware, software thing. But honestly, the algorithmic difference wasn't a lot, right? I mean, because when you're actually talking about computation, right, it's discrete, right? I mean, it's very discrete for most of what you want. And so you have control of what's going on.
Yes.
And despite that, you know, the idea of neural networks is from the 40s. By the
Okay.
time I was aware of it in the late 60s and early 70s, and trying to work with it in the 70s through 80s, you realize it was just a hardware problem. But so today we're in this place where, you know, these companies have enough money, because there's so much promise, to just keep buying the hardware, even though it's absurdly expensive. I mean, an A100, I can't remember what it's going for, but I mean, if you could usually what most guys like me do is you find a used one that someone's selling, right? And then you buy that one, because you can't actually get one of the good ones, right?
Right.
And so what telling my story as a long arc again. So what's happening today is we've discovered the algorithm for producing these AIs is dumb shit, right? I mean, it's disturbingly deep. I mean, it's like there's no there, because you're not really creating an algorithm, you're creating a database. I mean, that's how you have to think about LLMs. It's actually a database. So you're just storing data,
Yes.
right? And strangely or not, the software to pull information out of the data is trivial.
So what you're talking about is neural parsimony.
Yes. And the interesting thing is, you know how it works, these LLMs, by continuous recursive disambiguation. So it's this word, this set of tokens, symbols, would create this map, right, of potentials, which would just move incrementally through continuous to produce output, given the chain. And I'm like, oh, that's really stupid. It's just like the brain, right? And so the brain is just a database, and the algorithm for pulling stuff out of it's just stupid, right? I mean, it's just keep as many Christmas lights on as you can, and whoever wins the argument is the next word to be chosen, or the next idea to be chosen. And so it's kind of fascinating to me. But what's really weird is that these guys are they're trying to own the market for something that's It's just, I mean, I'm sorry. It's just, it's not, you, instead of having programmers, you have trainers, like having, right? So they'll tell you, like, you need about, if you want to train something on a concept, you need about 100, right? Right. But if you have 500, it's sort of like, it's kind of interesting. Think about this. The interviews, right? If you want to interview people, get a survey, you need about 1,000 interviews before you've reached the margin of error, right? Randomly sucked interviews. Well, guess how many you need to randomly eliminate the error in a concept? Well, it's about the same fucking thing. And the irony of this is just, I don't know why. I mean, because they're talking about that you're citing, and it's like, I just think it's silly, right? It's like, it's another one of these things where you usually tease me because I look at the world, I'm like, how could we be that dumb? Right? I mean, the answer is so obvious. How could we be that dumb? Because it's like evolution. When you sort of get evolution, you're like, oh, I can't believe it's that easy, right? And it's like when you get to for what they're doing with LLMs, which is really just brute forcing the intelligence into a database, right? So the database actually has simply the knowledge accumulated from sentences. I mean, it's just, that's all. It's just the accumulated knowledge of sentences. It just freaking kills me.
It's the same as the brain's organization.
It is. It's exactly the same. It's freaking hysterical. So, the brain does its computation through all these fucking dendrites, which is just, I did it. Why am I cursing so much today?
You're excited.
Is that what it is?
Yes, it is.
So there's so many, they're these all these dendrites. I mean, they're amazing, but the granularity of computation they're capable of is way more than our 128, 256, 1024-bit registered computers, right? I mean, it just because I don't know what they're capable of, but there's like 30,000 of them I think on average, right? Like, what the hell? What's the number of combinations, right? It's able to calculate because you just got the size of the bouton, the distance from the branch that it's on, and that branch that's on the dendrite, and then the distance from the dendrite to the cell body, and then the state of the cell body in relation to the axon hillock that releases the charge that falls down the axon. So you look at this, you're like, oh wow, neurons do incredible stuff, and you don't have to. Just like the language is doing something, they just amazingly adapt in vast numbers to extraordinary complexity, and we wonder why we're so good at doing it with what, 20 watts or something like that, or 8 watts or whatever it is our brains. I can't remember at the moment. All right, I'll stop my excited wonderment at the irony, because it ties into our previous conversation, is that
Yes.
I find it ironic that you bring up coherence at the same time, right? This idea of coherence as the C, when what we're really doing with a universally commensurable language, right, is producing coherence, and that what we've found in the LLMs is basically the brain in coherence. Right? For something miraculously wonderful about what's going on in the universe right now with all these human science and technology right now, because we're actually getting to the point we can have an example of the world, the Bayesian LLMs, as that explain to us the first principles, which is relations, right? And that we're going to be, and that all the fields are self-correcting out of almost mystical complexity into mechanic, real
Operational terms.
Yeah, well, it's actually realism, right? I mean, it's just realism, materialism, naturalism, right? Is it not realism, naturalism, materialism, right? I mean, it's just, look, it's just whatever, and layers of memory give us. That's just fascinating to me. Layers of memory give us the experience of being conscious. It's just fantastic. Anyway, so I'm celebrating the world, but I'm also celebrating a little bit the fact that you brought this idea in, and it is a great example of what Popper called parsimony.
Yes.
My great is that everything that knowledge evolves toward parsimony, but coherence is the other is well, that's great. Parsimony, what does that mean? Parsimony includes coherence, right? I mean,
Yes, it does.
right? So I just thought that was a really interesting sidebar. And now I'll try to calm down. I haven't had any drugs, any coffee, anything. I'm just high on sleep, Brad's company, and his insight.
It's
All right.
exciting, I must say.
All right. Back to work now that I've celebrated.
Right?
All right. We started out yesterday
Okay.
with producing, with learning from our work so far
Right.
into how to learning from our work and what key points we have to make. I'm going to add.
Yes.
And how a section is outlined, right? So
Right.
we worked on, you know, the mission of the book, the superstructure theme, the outline, right? And then we're going down to how we got this and how to do the sections, etc. Then we went down to, we just reviewed, we're in embodiment. We talked a little bit about how we want to not, where's the big one? Oh, this. We can introduce all of this,
Mhm.
but we don't want to propagate it throughout the whole
Right.
thingy. The whole thing. We're just going to try to keep context. What we found in our earlier work is that this kind of where are we
Yes.
at the beginning of each section is helpful, right?
Yeah.
So we're pretty good with homeostasis. We worked on neurons, I believe, pretty thoroughly yesterday. We competition for time, competition for compatibility, competition for compatibility, which is coherence, and within objects, competition for coherence and cooperation within a model of the body and the world. And so we tried to build up these structures for what's actually happening. Then we went down to the senses and how, and we worked through transduced. That's a correct TRAN. Yeah, this is where I laughed because anything with trans I have a problem with.
Still.
I think that I wanted to do something here. We gave the sound analogy as
Mhm.
as the model that we explained how the world works, and the AI keeps telling me to do this.
What's that?
Use an example.
Oh, that's good. That was a good bit right there,
Right, we separated.
which was not an easy thing to do. That was a good bit of work.
Well, it's because they're aware of the five senses, but they weren't aware of the sixth sense. Once you do that, you realize there's the internal, right? Excuse me, the senses themselves, the internal senses, and the spatial navigational senses. And I think that was that was a good insight. And I believe we got down into here, right?
Yes.
So we said integration is the induction of this is Then we go to integration. This looks like a table of contents, right? Ah, damn it, I did it again. Okay, we were struggling with this section.
Mhm.
So we have self-reflection we did.
Yes.
Remember this being embodiment and self-model. You don't want to duplicate in the self-model, the world model, embodiment, and self-reflection. Self-model, the world model. The world model, right?
Yeah.
And what's the self-model?
It's a reflection of current state, right? Then it's memory of current potential states, right? That we're talking about in self-reflection.
Yes.
Or like imagination of future states or potential future states.
Did you say it?
Memory of potential states. Which is more, it's like an imagination. It's not like a memory, it's an imagination or a. Does that make sense? Yes.
All right, so we can work on this section, it looks like.
All right.
You're still missing that one.
But
Where's that?
okay, what?
Yeah, I think that I've got a problem here in organization.
I understand.
So, self, embodiment, reflection. Oh, I've actually got it there. It just isn't organized the same way.
Right.
So it's embodiment, by self embodiment into the world, memory, and self-reflection. All right, so how do I change this up here to match it? So embodiment.
Self-reflection was next, wasn't it?
Well, that's the last one because you got to have the prior states to do it.
Okay.
I think we did embodiment, self-model.
Interesting. If you look at it, the way this is organized, the embodiment is including self-model embodiment into the real world, and number 3, the self reflection.
Well, yeah. Well, it's because I don't see the value in.
Well, I'm just saying that because it's different than you have it organized above.
Yeah, that's the problem we want to solve here. It's how do we say that? So we have embodiment, which includes
Yes.
a self-model. God damn it. Oh, that's why.
Huh.
Right?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
Now it's consistent.
I don't like the number 1 there, the first one, and yeah, that's fine.
You can be right. You're just right. That's okay.
Okay.
I think it might. Need a dot.
There you go.
Jesus, that was good, Brad.
Hmm.
So this would seem. So the reason it's confusing is 2 layers.
Hmm.
3 layers, do a duplicate. All right, so we've got section 2, which is integration, right?
Right.
Who's integration, incentives, consolidation, and memory, and solutions. Should be consciousness. Wait a minute. There it is, 3. I was gonna say, I should end with memory. All right. So that's the whole thing. So the outline is wrong. So this is this doesn't go here.
Right.
It goes here somewhere.
Hmm.
What did I do? Well, that would go
Above.
above. All right, so that means this would go. Way down here, right?
That works.
Just hit a backspace for where I don't know where it went. So we got a deleted character somewhere. Integration faculties. This is just making no sense. This, I don't know why we even have this. We have to introduce integration faculties. There should be an overview of what follows. Embodiment,
Hmm.
right? Embodiment should consist of the self model. Embodiment. And there's I think we do all this, right?
What do you mean by
I just don't know what this section. Okay, we go through embodiment, right? And it's down here, we're gonna do all this
yes? Yes.
faculties, right? So
That's it. That it should go down there.
Okay, this is the complex part here. What do we cover up here?
Right.
I think we're making, I know what the mistake is. I get it. Hold on, I'm almost there. You do too much in one place. Oh, I got it. So our problem is, okay, give me one more second. See how I did this down here. Valuations. I think this is also. Yeah, I think. That's what I've got wrong. Almost there. Yeah, I'm almost there. Okay, that's the problem. No, let's put it back. Yes, let's put it back. Integration, consolidation. Integration, homeostasis. This is just useless.
You don't have a place for it?
Well, I put, it's all in here. My question is, can you have embodiment until you have the outside world, the world model? You got a self model, then a world model.
Hmm.
It works, it's correct.
That works.
No, it's correct. I just think that this is unnecessary. You just go for the integration. We're going to integrate these things,
Right.
right? So integration consists of embodiment is incentives. Consolidation. Memory, that just doesn't seem right. We're just talking about the integration.
Memory doesn't need to be there.
No, memory's the whole indexing thing, right? In this, afterwards, it's right. Are we telling this story right? This is a good story, right?
Right.
This is a good story. God damn it. This is a good story.
Right.
This story looks like it's just wrong. This is the lead into it. But it should talk about embodiment. It should talk about you have to produce commensurable states. This isn't wrong. And then we go into what we're actually doing.
Right.
So we have I'm going to do this here. Right. Embodiment, and that's going to be
Those elements.
right. And then we're going to have
Incentives.
this isn't modeling.
Hmm.
I think this is a summary. Where's prediction? Right here, right?
Yes.
I think that's wrong too. I think this goes here.
That's the summary.
That's all repeated already. Oh, I see. That's a lead in.
Mm-hmm.
That's the lead into consciousness. All right, so where's the field of predictions? This is problem solving. Where's predictions?
I would expect it in that incentive part.
What happens right here?
Okay.
We just don't talk about it. We don't talk about the integration. We don't talk about the integration of everything. See, auto association, right? You see this? So we have memory
Right.
factors, right? Perceptual factors.
Right.
This should be indexing.
Okay.
And this should be predictions. Yep. That's what it is, boss.
There you go.
Yeah, we're pretty good at this shit.
Hmm.
Why does that say paragraph when it looks like it's a different font? Paragraph, that's just bold. It doesn't look the same to me. Does it look the same to you?
Oh,
Well, I know why. If I click on it and I go to formats, it's going to say subtopic title. Format. They're formatting. Formats, subtopic title. There we go.
okay.
Self-reflection. So this
Right.
is the index. Index is used to auto. Brad just vaporized.
Sorry, Kurt.
I said, I must be really annoying Brad this morning.
I ran out. Something caused a hiccup. Said Kurt's really freezing for a long time on that piece. I'm like, I was just about to say something. It goes, la, 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 la.
I think even the Zoom got bored waiting.
All right.
So what we have is possibilities.
Yes. You have attention, right? Yep.
We should get into, this is too nerdy, but could get into the reason why we can deal with 3, sometimes 5, but never more than, but rarely.
Hmm.
Visualize them.
Hmm.
This is limit. I think there's something interesting about limit there. Limits.
Yep.
It's another example of ternary logic. All you
Hmm.
need. You can compare 3 things. That's all you need. And
So,
with recursion, you can compare. That's all you need.
right.
It's like when people rate things on a scale of 10, like rating.
Yep.
This just says auto association.
Right.
It doesn't sell predictions. So I can clearly put that in there, and that's going to be not duplication.
That's correct.
So
Yeah. Yes.
Damn it. What's self-reflect? What's the operational? Fuck, memory goes there.
Where?
It goes. I think memory goes here. This is how we think. I
Yes.
think memory goes there.
Oh, that's good. I like that better.
I like that a lot better. So, because we call this what? Integration.
Right.
It's basically storing it. 'Cause we yeah, what do we add? We deal with accessing it later. Try to say one sentence at a time, because when you try to say three at the same time, then your tongue gets all messed up.
Hmm.
Well, its replay happens even just during recursion. It's actually that's that's really what is happening. That's okay.
Yes.
That's better. Does memory go? I need memory. Huh? What the hell is wrong with you?
Cleared it. You cleared it.
Yeah, it didn't though.
Huh.
Oh, it clears everything other than the, okay. Um,
Hmm. That works.
yeah, did I get rid of all, can I delete this all now?
I think you captured it. Let's look at it one more time.
Be sure. Yeah,
Okay.
got it all. Don't do it to me again. You did it. I knew you'd do it to me again. I knew you would do it to me again. Global state. So I wanted to put in summary. That's all I wanted to do.
So you have a summary.
Yeah. Was that what I'm missing? So I'm forgetting to do this. That does it. That does it.
Hmm.
Problem is,
What's the problem?
I just don't like this.
What specifically don't you like?
I don't like, I like this title. This is correct. I'm not sure this is correct. We're trying to use faculties, and so they are faculties, right? Faculties. But all of it's embodiment. Is it all embodiment? No. Incentives. Consolidation. Okay, that's what's bothering me. Embodiment, valuation, consolidation to global state. Embodiment. Embodiment, valuation.
Yes.
I think this is the problem. That's the wrong thing. These terms are wrong.
Okay.
Integration includes embodiment. Yeah, that's what it is.
What do you propose?
I'm calling this, so this should be more, this should be in the integration,
Yeah,
all right? So it should, and this should be integration,
yeah,
right?
yes.
Oh, fuck, it's just duplication. So this just goes away. It's unduplicated it on myself. God damn it. I did this already. Integration. That's it.
I like that.
Okay, so
Hmm.
just the right order.
Memory could go first.
I think this goes first.
Don't touch outside the box.
This is looking good now, dude.
Mm-hmm.
This is process description. Things it's got to do. I think we use a period, don't we?
Hmm.
Feels like there should be an indent here. Am I wrong? Doesn't need to be. Yeah, we gotta provide. We need to provide the narrative. So this does need to be here. So this is the narrative.
Okay.
I see. Okay, we need to turn this into an explanation of what happens. So I don't know, dude. I'm thinking we're gonna reach the college, we're gonna actually make it possible for the college audience.
Yes, sir. Then we're gonna get Claude to make it for the high schoolers. Because we don't want to do it.
I might ask Claude to help me in a second here, because I'm not sure I want to shift gears into this narrative one. So we have information processing. I don't know if I like this at all. We should just take we have, which is, what's our outline? And then create the narrative around it. We have integration. Well, we have integration, that's our section, right?
Right. There's no period on those, I think.
No, this is just my note. This is just me.
No, I'm talking about the one below it.
What are you talking about, dude? You're
I don't
killing
think there's supposed to be a period there.
I think we've been doing the period, haven't we? I mean, not that I've had a period, but
I'm sorry. You missed one?
no, you're right. We don't use a period. So fucker, I missed that. That one got by. That almost got by me.
Oh my.
Uh, integration, right? And that goes
Right.
to
Integration.
self. Should we do it all? So why not? Let's just.
Now that's okay, I see. So the sub is the self model. The embodiment, the prediction, and the what are you doing?
I'm just making a note so I can see it.
Oh. Yep.
We haven't done this, right? We haven't done. We haven't done. What's the organization of your body in space?
Proprioception.
You haven't right, etc.
What?
No, I'm just being an idiot. It's okay.
Okay.
We call this integration. Right. Embodiment. Memory prediction. Prediction. Self-reflection.
Okay. External.
Ooh, screwed up.
How so?
Social.
Ah, those are external.
Yeah, I know. Oh no, it's here. External. Which include, I gotta make a note here, all screwed up. Let's see.
Hmm.
These are wait a minute, wait. Oh, we're completely this. You know, I'm supposed to be the guy on incentives, okay? And how do I screw this up?
Hmm.
Turtle incentives. Oh, I see. It's here.
Right. That's I want. Right. Yeah, buddy. I've been thinking about that.
Yes. I wonder what normal people think when they go through life. They have all these absurd, like all I hear, all I hear from you is I want. Do they have weird shit like that? I mean, I don't know. I kind of doubt it.
No. They get confused by it.
Yes.
Why the people that do chanting for a living can be so successful.
Note to myself.
Yes. I do like the organization of it.
This is basically a summary.
Yes. It is literally the summary. It's a summation of it, right?
Yeah. It's fascinating, actually.
Simple.
What's this section?
We're going to, this is response. It's go up there more. You're not to the end of it, to the beginning of it. Solutions, I think it's one more after.
Yeah, we don't. Is this
It
just?
is, it's behavior, right?
Oh, you are so good. You know,
Which is
you're not just
it's
you're
individual,
not just another pretty face.
right? So much more. How bright. How do we act in the environment, right? How humans act in the environment. And you, that's it.
I guess I can just fucking do it, right? I mean,
You could be that bold. Nice. Yes,
that want to be behavior?
that's fine.
Wait a minute. Solution. Yeah, it's solution.
Okay.
Enactment. I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't want to
Okay. Okay.
do that. Yeah.
Don't want to get crazy.
This is the process. Yep, that's the process. And this is consciousness.
our experience of the of this function, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so there's where do I do the? I'm jumping ahead. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be jumping ahead. I just had the idea. Where do I do the
What are we looking for?
handle? Handle it's not a hard problem.
Okay.
So this is gonna take a bit.
That one goes above, doesn't it? Because before, oh, we haven't talked about consciousness till below.
Oh, could you be, sometimes when you're being smart, it's kind of frustrating.
Sorry, Kurt.
I'm just teasing you.
I know.
I don't want to get into that yet. I want to do the sidebar.
Yeah. Uh-huh. That derails so many people that are rent seekers. And what I find amusing is that you find such joy in it.
Why? I find
Because I get off your little toadstool, boys, and get to work.
yes, exactly.
Get a real job.
Oh, I'm gonna put that in there.
I would put the comma boys part in there because it's funnier, but
Okay.
it's more rude that way.
This is going to be a narrative, right? This is the narrative.
Yes. Hmm. Okay. I want you to adjust that a little bit.
Right, go ahead.
Brainstem's homeostatic function. Yep. It's a demand. It requires it. It's an imperative. Oh, that's awful.
Well,
Made me think of CrossFit. And it's like you do these things that are so awful, it feels just god awful. And it's like it tells you to stop, stop doing this nonsense. Why do we have you don't have to do this? It makes your other parts of your brain come louder. Stop, dear God.
before we found out what was really wrong with me, I think I told you this. I tried, and I did the of course, I tried bicycling, I tried horseback riding, I tried yoga, and I tried CrossFit,
Mm,
and I just can't breathe. The only thing I could do was lift weights, right? Because it was the only thing I could do where it wasn't so dependent on aerobic that I couldn't get there. So I lift weights and I can hike, and that's it, right? That was what was happening. So it was funny going to CrossFit and dying. I mean, I just died. It was awful. And he kept telling me, you need to get, it's not that I'm not fit, it's that I can't fucking breathe. I swear again.
I'll tell you what it is. You
Well,
know, it's just when you get excited. It goes like this: is there's a function and it's spinal, how you organize yourself, and you have an attachment to not aerobic.
oh, that's brilliant.
And it's like this.
Sure,
You
sure.
you get to overcome the attachment to not aerobic is such a bitch that it's like, fuck that noise. I'm not doing it.
I think
You got me cussing.
that's why I think that's why despite the pain of running, you get the high, right? And despite the pain of hiking, you get the oxygenation high, right? And so I think those things they were what worked for me anyway at the time. But I can't run far, but it feels really good.
Hmm.
So, but you're right, because for me, calming everything so I can get into the zone is my
Mhm.
favorite state.
Right.
It's my normal state. And so what you're saying is I don't want to leave the normal state because that's like not thinking.
That's just fool. So what you're doing is they're exceedingly demanding your aerobic state, right? Outside of your comfort zone, and you're not able to manage it.
Yes.
That's all. And it's okay.
You claim you're a country doctor and all in a
I'm a
southern
country
town,
doctor.
but it's not
I'm
entirely
not
true.
a typical country doctor.
You're not a
I'm,
what?
I'm an atypical country
You're
doctor.
not move that one's going to confuse me for a bit. All right, so we're going to take this back up to the beginning. And I forgot where we want to put this,
Okay.
which is up here.
The model, the organization of it all. That's it.
We wanted to say this is what we actually want.
Yes.
Now, we could need more coffee and water soon. We could in other words, there might be tips in here that would allow us to create this narrative.
Yes.
This is the only really, I like these. I like this. I like this.
No, that's nice. I like that section. It prepares you well for what follows.
Yeah, it's just in the wrong order.
Okay. How so?
That's all this. Oh, wait a minute. I see what it's doing.
What?
They're using vision here, which would be down here. No, there's no object construction. Yeah. I see. I'm trying to figure out how to make these two go together.
Okay.
So this is the object construction.
So there's a because we have two.
Go ahead.
This feature binding includes interoceptive functions as well.
Right, that's why it's under here, and I was wanting to put
Yes.
it down here. So the problem is this is vision, because I'm so obsessed with space. But
Yes.
it's not just that, it's an
It includes, I think we would say included. Feature binding
go ahead.
includes, and I would put bullet points. It's like it includes objects, spaces, and body states.
Now that's still, what about, let's go to taste and touch.
The body state,
Okay. So
proprioception, all that stuff. It is a feature, right? We bind up posture is a feature, right?
body state, what do you want to call them?
Objects and spaces. Yeah.
This does objects, this does spaces, right? I'm confused.
There's nope, there's another one there. Okay.
Go ahead.
There's the other one that we mentioned yesterday, the novel one, the spatial relations, right? Relative spatial relations. And it's way up there where we were working yesterday, the last.
Yeah, I know that one now. Hold on a second. The lateral, gyrus, what is this called?
I know what you're talking about. Oh, you're talking about in the interior?
Just this part of the, so when your brain comes down, you basically separate this stuff on top, which is the visual processing, the back, front, which is the general, and the objects get processed on the side here in the
Temporal lobe.
Yes. Process object references. And what does the what's the back of the side?
Occiput. The cerebellum.
No, the higher visual, the space between your motor and your visual
Parietal.
parietal.
I knew I was worth something.
It's like I can't have all these. I can't have a reference to everything, right? I should probably, if I was smart, I would put up a bunch of diagrams here that I know what I would relate to, but I'm not that smart. Parietal region.
It's terrible programming. Oop. Come
I know
on.
this answer. Huh?
GPT-4, come on.
I'm gonna get more coffee. It's gonna tell me I'm stupid here, which is fine. I don't mind being stupid right now.
Won't say you're stupid, Kurt.
Temporal lobes often involved in parietal spatial processing. Yeah. Right, because that's why it's next to the the motor cortex,
Yep,
because they're the two things that matter, vision and moving.
it's very important.
You can't, otherwise you can't run away fast.
Right?
Yeah, I got that. I'm just trying to look at disambiguation.
Yes.
Um. Some backgrounds. Varietal. Object recognition. This is what? Where? What? See, did it again. Say one sentence at a time.
Yes.
So if I want to speak of the body state, both in terms of orientation, position, and homeostasis, compared to the uh, temporal object and the parietal gotta spell homeostasis. Can't even do spell homeostasis right today. Temporal. I do it this way.
Okay.
And the parietal.
Spatial. Yeah.
Just say how can I, hopefully it will help me be creative here.
That'll be useful.
Thank you.
Very helpful.
I'm surprised they just wrote
It looks like it, doesn't it?
our introduction or summary. I'm running out of gas, Brad.
I'm out of coffee.
Huh?
I'm out of coffee, so I'm either way is good. This has been quite an exciting adventure today,
Has
Kurt.
been, I just think I'm running out of gas.
Oh no.
What?
Well, if you're running out of gas and I'm out of coffee, I'm thinking the audience might be out of patience. I'm just saying, it's a possibility. Now that you've made the chat GTP4 provide you with such a beautiful answer.
Yep. I'm just going to take this, explain information processing, and then swip it around,
Yeah.
which says spatial with that,
Yes.
and that'll have given me what I really want to know, which
That's
is
what that little 5 bullet points is good.
yeah, I think that's a pretty useful way to I can smooth this to go before it and we're good.
You're locked and loaded.
All right, boss, you can do your thing.
Wait. Since they're out of patience, I'm afraid to be too emphatic, but I will do it anyway.
No, I like your emphatic.
Really?
Yes.
Everybody now, this is your chance all at once. Like, subscribe, notifications. You know what this means. If you've been paying any attention to this so far, leave a comment and say what a wonderful job Kurt did today.
We did. I love you all. Today's Sunday, May 5th, 2024. This has been an ongoing section on embodiment, which is where we're trying to explain how we create the body as a system of measurement by which to judge the world, accumulating in our form of what we call Vitruvianism, which is man is the measure of all things to man, which helps us get to the point where we have a universal standard of measurement of commensurability, because we're marginally indifferent in most ways, except thinking hard. And and that from that we're able to say, okay, this is we can now explain the universe through this commensurate language of operations. All right, love you, man. Love you, audience. You guys have a great day. Anything else we want to say, Brad?
No, we'll chat after this a little bit, I think.
Okay, so Zoom. Okay, it just when I get it, so that I understand
They moved it.
how the controls work, right? I find out that they moved the thing again. So I'm gonna stop recording. Bye bye.